Hi, welcome to my channel. A year ago I posted a video of several upgrades you can do to your DERYA TM22 alloy receiver. And it seems my viewers are really keen on the folding stock. And I realized that this folder adapter I bought a couple of decades ago, not easy to find anymore. And I bought that because I wanted to convert my VZ58 to an AK stock folding. And if you can't find that, you're very likely to find this. This is an AR15/M4 stock folding adapter. And of course, it's not the real one. That would be like almost $300. This is an airsoft one that you could buy anywhere. I bought this directly from Airsoft company in Hong Kong, and it's $50. And so what I'm going to do today is show you how to install both of these. Now it appears that a lot of gun owners prefer the guns to be compact, and they're quite willing to pay handsomely for that. In other words, they're willing to buy the last 10-inch barrel for $300, and then you need to change the handguard, and that handguard is like $200 aluminum. And then you have to also get some sort of a stock, a muzzle adapter attachment for it. So all in all, it's almost the same price of the whole gun. So, well, I'm not willing to go that way. So I'm going to go a different way that'll give me the same compactness. In other words, 26-inch. And that is through the back end. So now you know my preference. I'm a backdoor man. Yes, the front end, going through the front door, it's far more expensive. Going through the back, I'd still get the same compact, the same 26-inch, and that would only cost me $50. So let me set this up, and I shall be back. I am back. Now, off camera, I've removed the stock buffer tube and also the fake silencer. This is the reverse type. I also removed the magazine. So what I'm going to do is first talk about this adapter, stock folding adapter, the construction of it, and it's very simple, and it's reversible. This one, if you have it in this position, you can fold your stock to the left. And if you have upside down, you could have it folded to the right, although you will see that screw. I don't have the set screw, but you could swap that with a set screw to make it smaller. But this is one of the best locking system, as you can see. It locks in there quite well. It's the same locking system as the Galil on the Galil stock, so it is quite good. Okay, and it's one end, this end goes into the receiver, and it has a castle nut. This end goes into the buffer tube, and it doesn't have a castle nut. It has a set screw. So it's a very simple system. But before you could install that, this is I guess it's a nut retainer. It originally would be a sling ring like this, right? This is what you would have originally. It's a steel ring, but when I put in the Alex's charging handle, I replaced this with the 3D type. Okay, now the first thing you have to do with this piece, you have to, there's a nub similar to this nub right here. You have to remove that, otherwise this will not go in. Okay, so you have to file that. Well, this is made out of 3D, so it's easy to file. Okay, so once you've done that, you can place that in. The next thing you must do is that you must have enough washers behind the buffer pad. Okay, and and I would suggest going to your local hardware store, getting this washer. The part number is 3257. It's 22 cents each, and it is quite a thick one. So I got like 4 of these, and I would suggest putting 4 in like this. Okay, 4. And I hope that's enough. And now you could screw this in. Okay. Do not leave any gap between the buffer pad and the front of this adapter. Okay, so let me see if I could turn that in, and it is turning. And now I got to put this screw thing on properly, and it is on properly, as you can see. Okay, now I got to keep turning this till it hits the washer. It has to touch the washer. And now I can see there's a gap between the castle nut, and I can feel it's getting tight. And so now so in other words, I am pressing against the washer, and I want this adapter to fold to the left. So this is the position I want it to be. Once I reach that, I can tighten this castle nut so it doesn't move. Okay, so take this and just tighten it till it's tight. And now I can put this in, the buffer tube. Now you don't need the castle nut, and the reason why you don't need the castle nut because it has a screw or a set screw. Okay. And where the screw and the set screw goes in is in this little space, this cutout in the bottom of it. So you stick this in and keep turning till I guess it doesn't turn anymore. Oh, it's kind of, screw that. That's better. Keep turning that all the way in. Yeah, I think this is good. And now you tighten the screw or the set screw. Okay, and then now you're done. That's it. This is a very simple system, and it works. Okay, now you want to fold it to the left. It's very simple. Lift the whole stock up and fold. That's about it. And now it doesn't stay, and the reason why it doesn't stay because it doesn't lock in because of this handguard. It's rather thick, as you can see. It's not going all the way. But if it goes another 1/4 inch in, it would lock in. But now you want to unfold it. Simple as that. It's great. All right. So that works really well. The next thing I'm going to do is talk a little bit about the AR-15 M4 folding stock adapter. As you can see, this is far more complicated than that. And today, the real one for the real AR-15, they're like $250 to $300 Canadian. Obviously, I can't afford that. This is airsoft. Okay, this sells for like $50. I think I bought it from Airsoft company directly from Hong Kong. Okay, now before I install this, I want to talk about talk about all these pieces you're gonna get. Okay, first of all, this adapter only folds one way. Okay, it only folds one way, and that is to the left. No other way. You can't put this upside down. This is the locking button. Okay. And you see the threading here. The threading is where the buffer tube goes in. And this part that doesn't have the thread, it's this thing goes inside, and then it screws onto the receiver. But it can't go in because of this piece. It's in the way. Okay. and therefore I have to disassemble the lock to insert this, and I will do that later on. This piece is it's a buffer extension. This goes in the back of the AR-15 bolt. Okay, it just slides right in the back of it, and it's held in by these rubber washers. Okay, so you just slide it in and it stays in, and then the back of this, of course, will hit the buffer spring buffer system that's in the buffer tube. Of course, the TM22 doesn't have one, so you don't need this. Okay, so you have these other pieces. What are they for? I might as well talk about them. This is it goes at the bottom. This screw, I'll show you later. And the spring, basically, this is the buffer tube holder. And this one, it goes all in there, and I'll show you later how it goes in. This is it's the wrench. Okay, this is how you tighten this against the receiver. Now, I don't know what these screws are for, so I'm just going to ignore them for now. Okay, so let me disassemble this, and I'll be back. I am back. Now, I failed to mention that this kit also comes with 3 Allen wrench. Okay, let's begin. As with the previous this folding adapter, you also have to remove the nub that's at the bottom. Okay, that has to be removed. And also you might need to, because this is a 3D printed, if this piece doesn't fit in easily, you need to widen it a bit. Okay, this was it was sticking a bit, so I had to file that a little wider. But other than that, you have to do that. Okay, so let's begin. First thing you have to do, as you can see, this goes in the back, but it cannot go in with this piece in the way. Okay, you see that piece right there? That's in the way. You cannot put this in because it's in the way. So you have to disassemble this unit. And to do that, you take the middle Allen wrench and remove the screw. Okay, not the hinge screw, but the other screw. Okay, and you do this way, and you're gonna get a screw that is about about 5/8 inch long, and then this piece comes out and everything falls out. Okay, so this is where the screw goes in, and this is the spring that it holds in, and this is the actual lock that the spring goes in like this. Okay, you have to remove that, and now you can insert this into this piece, otherwise you couldn't. Now, so now you're ready to screw this on, but remember, like with this, you have to put enough washer in here to make sure that the front of this pushes against the washer and it pushes against that white buffer pad. Okay, so I'm gonna put enough of these washers. These are 3257, 4 of them, and they're like 22 cents each. I'll pile them all in there. And I also want to follow up with a larger washer. Unfortunately, my local hardware store has only a black one, and unfortunately, because it's black, it's 74 cents and not 22 cents. But as you can see, it's slightly bigger than the 3257. And the reason why I need it bigger, because 3257 almost fits into the whole of the back of this. I mean, in front of this, I mean. You don't want it to fit in like this. I need it bigger, okay? And that's why I went and got a bigger one, but not too big. And this is about 1/2 millimeter bigger than the loonie, so I wanted something that's even bigger than a loonie. So it's the same thickness as a loonie. So now I put 4 of those washers in, follow with a now that part number is 4513, remember? 4513 part number. And now I'm going to try putting it in with this piece on. Now this piece is strictly for AR-15. Now remember, this is a TM22. So I'm going to see if I have to, can I leave it in or not leave it in? Okay, so I'm going to try it, seeing what it looks like. Okay, I'm back. Off camera, I removed the raised, looks like an oblong area right here. I removed that so we flush against the receiver. Okay, now remember I had 4 of these 3257s. Put that in first, and then I followed up with a larger black one, and that's part number is 4513. Okay, and the reason why I need larger, so it doesn't slide into this. Okay, and once that is done, now make sure this piece goes in here without any issue. If it doesn't fit, then you have to file it larger. Okay, that goes in like that. Now with this removed, it'll be flush against the receiver, and now I can open this up. Got all these aluminum sheathing. Now I can slide this in, okay, and now I can screw it on. And they do provide you with a wrench, and this is the wrench, okay, and it goes into like that, like this, okay, and now you just screw it in. It's kind of awkward to screw it in, so I'm just going to do it again. I know you can't see it, so, but trust me, it's going in. Okay. Now I can feel tension, so in other words, the part that I screwed in is now pushing against the washer. You want to make sure it pushes against the washer, and then the washer is pushing against the white buffer pad. Make sure there's no gaps, okay? And so there, this is how it looks like, okay? Make sure the bottom is centered before you do a final tightening. Okay, so here I'm going to insert this again and make sure it's really tight. Okay. Okay. Now once that is done, now you can reassemble all the other pieces. Okay. Remember this piece? This is the locking piece. That goes in like that. Slides right in. And let me see. It goes from here. And goes like right there. Make sure it falls in. Followed by this 1-inch long spring. Goes in like that. Now, you take this piece with the 5/8 inch long screw and make sure it's in. So this is the way. See this curved part that points out, And it goes like that. Press it down, and then from the bottom, screw it in. Yep. Make sure it's nice and snug. Okay. So that's in. There, it looks like that. Remember, it's the screw that's not the hinge that you remove. Now that it opens up nicely. Now, you're not completely done. There is a small little screw hole where the lock is. This is where you push the lock. Okay. And there is a small set screw right there, and you take the small Allen wrench, insert that in, and screw that in. I suppose it stops the that piece you just screwed in. Let me see what it does. Yeah, it seems like it's stopping that piece we just screwed in from moving. Okay, so that's good. Okay, that's in. What's next? Now you still have this silver set screw, a 1/2-inch spring, and it seems like a plunger. Now this plunger goes in here at the bottom of the buffer tube. It actually sits like that. Okay, so next thing you do is screw. Let me close this. Okay. Okay, it's closed now. Now take the buffer tube itself and screw that in. You don't need a castle nut. Okay, so this is where the bottom is, and let's center the bottom. Okay, now you take the plunger, put that in first, followed with that 1/2-inch screw, put that in next. Now take that silver set screw and use the large Allen wrench and screw that in. Okay, so now, okay, let me measure the overall length, and it is 26 1/8, right to the end of the lock. And if that's not enough, I guess you could always attach a flash hider to increase that, I think. I'm not sure, but overall length is 26 1/8, and that's just fine. Let me test out the lock. It's pretty secure. Yep, looks great. And let me unlock it by pressing the button. And it folds. And it does lock to the left. Okay, so you see it's not falling. Hey, everything seemed to work fine. Okay, great. Thank you very much for joining me. Please hit the like and subscribe button.